Hello, everyone. We are Seth and Sandra Dunn, and we welcome you to Awkward Conversations. This is a format where we choose things that are maybe challenging, awkward, difficult in relationship, in culture, and we talk about them in hopes that sometimes us being very awkward with our own thought process or with each other helps you to think through some things. But I think today's might be more just fun.
I hope so.
I hope so too. We're going to talk about domestic life. What does that mean? I wore my flowers because I figured that spoke to domestic. So for years, not so much lately, I don't know why, but I used to say to people, I would have made a great wife.
That's true.
Because of the domestic side of things, right?
I would say still lately, yes, you would be a great wife.
So we wanted to talk about just what does the domestic life look like? Now, obviously we're husband and wife, but this could be with roommates. Mm-hmm. I suppose I hadn't thought about this until just now, but it could even just be like in the office environment.
If you still live with your parents.
Yeah, you've got domestic life. So here's the kinds of things we're thinking about, right? And we can go wherever with this. But things like, does the toilet paper roll from the top or from the bottom? Luckily, this is not an issue for us because we're both over the top people. That under the roll thing, I'm like, that would drive me nuts. I don't know if people struggle with this or whatever, but it would, seriously, we would have had to figure that out. Mm-hmm. I know these are silly things, but...
I would have had my own bathroom with the toilet paper going the way I want.
Well, I know because it is an issue. And I know, as silly as it might sound, there's tensions in people's lives because of these things.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yes.
So, yeah. I mean...
Can you name some others
absolutely.
that actually are an issue?
An issue for us... Mm-hmm. Trash. Trash is a great one because she said just the other day that if I was living on my own or whatever, I would just have a huge trash can that would just like sit somewhere.
Like what are those big ones like you see at a wedding, like, or not even that. You just get a package delivered. And then
this is a great idea.
And then whatever box that stuff came in,
particularly the big boxes,
the box would be the trash can. It would just sit out, and you just chuck your trash in the box. It just sits out there.
So we've been married forever, and yet just the other day I went, wow, she really does not like when trash sits out. And guess what? The other night, I had taken a trash bag out of the trash can in the kitchen where it's enclosed in a cabinet, and I set it to the side, and I put some trash in it after that, and I thought, I'll have a few more things yet this evening to put in there. And she said to me, can we please make sure that's out by tonight? And guess what? The next morning when she got up, it was still sitting there. You took care of it.
Yeah, because it wasn't getting taken care of, so I took care of it. Here's the deal. Anything to me that seems smelly, gross, germy, disgusting, I'm going to deal with it because that's gross.
That's gross.
Why are we leaving our trash out? Like, it smells. It's called trash for a reason. Why is it sitting out in my dining room or my kitchen? Like just sitting out.
Oh man.
Gross.
Yeah. And it's interesting because we both tend to keep a pretty reasonably clean house, right? And like I know a lot of people face, for example, dishes piling up in the kitchen sink, right? We don't do that. No. Neither of us likes that, and we just tend to take care of it. That naturally is easy, but the trash thing, oh yeah, I don't know why, but I don't find trash as gross. So this idea of being able to have a large can,
maybe I'll start.
Really, you know what I really would like? What would be way cool? And you would like this too, probably. We should invent this. It'd be great to just have a suction tube, and you throw all your trash in a suction tube that takes it right to the dumpster. I think I like throwing things away, and so I like having trash around. It's weird. It's weird, but we have to deal with it.
Maybe I'll become.
You have to deal with others.
I'll become a hoarder, and we'll see how long you like.
Oh, that
trash
would not.
around.
That wouldn't work.
That's what it is. It's just in one location. It's the same thing.
I'm hoarding my trash. But seriously, these things, they can be a challenge in relationships. So it's like, how do you learn to live together? And you have these dynamics, say at the office and so forth too, right?
And what are the things that I do that?
The things that you do. I'm going to look at my list because I did have some. I did have some fun ones. Okay. Oh, here. This one cracks me up. Graham crackers. Okay. We have a domestic issue over graham crackers. You didn't realize this?
No, I have no idea about this. Which, by
we
the
do.
way, is the case. Most things that he is annoyed about with me, I never know about
I
until
don't know.
a situation like this.
Well, to some degree, like this one, I couldn't say that I'm annoyed by it, but I do realize there is a standard that needs to be met that she would value and appreciate. I'm not saying she's demanding this of me. I'm saying she would appreciate this, and I just think it's hilarious. So here's the thing with graham crackers. First of all, you've got to purchase the right brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because those cheap crap ones taste like cheap crap.
So that's the first thing with graham crackers. If I have a here's the weird thing about me. I really don't like to shop except groceries. I love grocery shopping for whatever reason. If graham crackers are on the list, I know that if I don't remember, which I might not, what the right brand is, I need to ask, because if I bring home the wrong one, they're going to be gross. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's the other thing. There's a box of them sitting in the cabinet up there. If she's going to, this is why it becomes very domestic, right? Because if she's going to have graham crackers, it's normally in the middle of the night. So, not long ago, she actually said to me, listen, I don't mind if you eat graham crackers, but could you not run out? Because then in the middle of the night, I go for my graham crackers and they're not there.
If you're craving one thing and it's the middle of the night, like that's the most frustrating thing.
I never eat in the middle of the night.
He never eats in the middle of the night. Mind you, until last night, I hadn't had graham crackers in the middle of the night for months.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't monitor it.
I actually last night did, but that's very,
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't for ages, but
Yeah.
I did last night.
Yeah.
And
Which, in all fairness,
yeah.
I can appreciate this. I can appreciate that getting up in the middle of the night. I don't, whatever. I mean, this isn't a need I have, but she gets up in the middle of the night. She wants that graham cracker. And it's not there because I ate them. I mean, to some degree, I'm like, get over it. To some degree, I'm like, that's fair.
But I mean,
It really
I've never
is.
been like super mad about it.
No.
It's not like one morning he gets up, what the blankety blank? I wish you wouldn't eat my graham crackers.
You ought to do that. That'd be hilarious. Oh my goodness. No. Yeah, but that one cracked me up more recently, I think, because you were just like, I think the funny thing is I think I kind of felt like the graham crackers were a bit off limits. They were kind of like her thing, but she made it very clear. Listen, you have the graham crackers. I don't care, but just, don't run them out so I don't have any in the middle of the night. And I seriously just thought, okay. I mean, that's fair. And it makes domestic life better. Right?
So,
Yeah.
cuss him out in the morning because my
Because the graham crackers are gone. And, we laugh about it, and yet we have these tensions. I was just looking at my list because I was curious what else there was about you and I. I think early in our marriage, this isn't such a thing now because we're so many years down the road, but food habits, since we're on graham crackers, early on for us, the food habit thing was interesting because, we got married young. So we were coming out of our childhood homes and how food was done. And so like her family ate lots of casseroles, just for example. Well, I have no issue with casseroles as much as I didn't grow up with a lot of casseroles. So there was a learning curve there in the domestic setting of figuring out that kind of a dance. Like there's one casserole in particular. I don't know what it is about it because the ingredients are just fine, but it's a man killer. I'm telling you, is there a man that likes that sausage casserole?
I literally don't know of any.
But a lot of women do. So I don't know what it is about that, but she fed me this casserole. I thought she was trying to kill me.
We've actually had a little game going because my dad didn't like it.
Right.
Well, then my sister's husband didn't like it.
Yeah.
Then Seth didn't like it. And then, we've actually tried it out. Now I've tried it out. My father has passed away, so we tried it out on my mom's new husband. He didn't like it. My sister got remarried. We tried it out on her new husband. I legitimately don't know anybody who
so
likes
that was it.
Who likes it.
So that was something, because she really liked it. And so she wanted to make it once in a while. Well, what do you do with that? Because she makes dinner, she makes this casserole. Well, okay. I mean, now I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. I find something, but early on, right? I mean, this is the things you figure out.
We were required to eat dinner together and eat the same meal because that's what a Christian couple does.
Yeah.
That was.
Are we not a Christian couple?
Not anymore.
Oh.
We've lost it.
There's a revelation. Wow.
We didn't eat dinner together last night. I mean, we ate at the same
together.
time, but we didn't eat the same food.
We didn't.
It's very anti-Christian.
Oh boy. So
I'm joking. Please don't comment.
We're trying to have fun
You
here.
have to make sure.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think. I don't know. Is anything else coming to you? I've got some ideas of things that I know people are different in. What else are we different in?
The bedroom curtain getting opened in the morning. The pillows on the floor versus on the bed. Not that. Yeah. There's a few things.
Yeah. So do you do some so we built a new house. Gosh, that's been through. We're in our 4th year already. So, but then we finished the basement later. So we moved. We created our master actually in the basement. So just in the last couple of years, we've adjusted to new environment, right? And so that did create some things. Mm-hmm. So like the curtain thing on the bedroom window, I don't know why, but I don't.
If I'm gone, he never opens.
I never open it. I think I don't
know. The first thing I do when I get up in the morning is open the curtain. So again, I don't care.
No,
not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
But it's just a difference.
It is. Mm-hmm.
If I happen to get up in the middle of the night, he will put my pillows on the bed. But when he gets up in the morning,
not in the middle of the night. She gets up and goes to the bathroom. And I put the pillows on the bed, so when she comes back, she can't get in. I actually might do that now.
If I get up in the middle of the night,
goodness, that was hilarious.
And I go to sleep on the couch because I'm not sleeping. Because, I'm in that phase of life. I'm not sleeping in bed so much at night, wide awake, whatever. So if I get up in the middle of the night, I go to the couch to sleep. Then in the morning when I go back to the bedroom, the pillows are then on the bed. No, he's not putting them on the bed in the middle of the night. But
oh my goodness,
he doesn't put his pillows on the bed. Unless...
Well, if you're there sleeping.
If I'm there sleeping, he won't put his pillows on the bed. Even though it makes absolutely no difference. Mm. So you make the bed if I get up in the middle of the night. This is why I sleep on the couch, so that he makes the bed every morning.
Oh, it's a good thing I didn't hear that.
No, but when I go sleep on the couch, he makes the bed in the morning. But if I don't go sleep on the couch, he doesn't do anything to make the bed. Not like your side or anything.
I think what happens there is like if she's in bed sleeping, I don't want to put the pillows on there because I think it'll bother her. But you know what? Now that I say that, well, right, because
35 years
because after I say that, I'm sure she's told me that it wouldn't bother her.
Plus, you know how I sleep. If I'm asleep, I'm asleep. Like you're not going to bother me.
Yeah. Huh. So see, these things because I'm like, it doesn't matter to me whether I put them on then or later or whatever, you know what I mean? Learning that dance though, that working together. And I think some people really face some very challenging ones. Like what do you do if one person likes a clean home and the other one could care less and therefore is making a mess a lot? And this is why, we opened this video with the comment that I would have made somebody a good wife. It mostly because I don't like cleaning, but I do like a clean house. And so then I wish I did more cleaning. I just don't like it, so I have to force myself. But like cooking, laundry, all that kind of thing, I don't mind it at all, where a lot of men, I think, do. So I'm not saying that this is always a man-woman issue, but what if one of you likes a clean house and the other one doesn't? You have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's why this would become an awkward conversation, because I think people do. If she wanted me, this is where I maybe would revolt. If she drove her car home and then came to me and said, "Oh, my car's just about out of gas," I'd be like, "And why didn't you fill it up before you came?" Now, granted, we live in the country, so it's a little more of an issue in that, you got to have 10 miles worth of gas
now,
to get more.
There
right?
are men who feel very strongly, though, about their wife will never fill the car with gas.
There are. So I'm not saying my way's right. I'm saying you have to figure out these kinds of things. If you wanted me to make a special trip to go and fill with your car with gas, we would have to figure that out, because I would not naturally be like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'd love to do that." No, I'm like, you were coming home, you knew you were about out of gas, why didn't you stop and fill it up, right? And it's never been an issue.
Which is funny to me, because he's very service oriented. Like, he serves so much. So when he says,
yeah, it's interesting that one is an issue for me.
If you don't know him, it sounds a little bit like, "Geez, dude, take care of your woman." It's not that, because he does a very good job at that.
Yeah.
But
okay.
That's
thank
funny
you.
to me
that's
that is.
Yeah, it is. It is interesting, because we've never bumped into it, because she has never had an issue with filling her car with gas.
I got 2 arms,
so we never.
2 hands. I can totally do it.
She's a feminist. No, but seriously, that would have been an issue.
Yeah.
Because I do seem to have some attitude there, and I don't know where that stems from. I've never sorted that one, but there are people. I mean, we have friends that struggle with, for example, the dirty dish thing. One will never clean a dish; they just always put the dirty dish in. The other one has to take care of it.
Yeah.
And that's a tension for them. So these would be the awkward things that I think you gotta. That's where then you have to figure out. Okay, well, how are we going to do this then? We haven't approached anything too traumatic today. I wonder if we could.
Thankfully,
I wonder if we could. We've done pretty well, I would say. But that being said, it's not. I know people that don't do well.
Right, but I wonder
with
too,
these issues.
I'm just thinking about the difference between physically having those kinds of things. Like,
sure.
We don't have many of those things physically.
Oh,
but
I think I know where you're going.
There are things that drive me crazy.
Sure.
About Seth that have nothing to do with leaving dishes around, not taking the trash out, whatever.
Yeah.
No, those are not issues we have.
Well, so one that maybe would be a bit of an issue, that becomes a domestic issue as far as how we live together, is if I asked her right now, no preparation, right now, what are you feeling? What do you feel about right now? She could just start and probably go for, I don't know, a while. No, right? She could, where I would look at you and go, can I get back to you on another video, maybe in a day or two, and let me sort out what I'm feeling right now? Give me time. That's difficult for us, because I need time to sort that and figure it out.
Because you ask me, how are you feeling about life? Oh, well, in this area, in this area, right, I can list it out. I could go, like you said, for a while. Whereas he'd be like, well, what part of life? What do you need? What are you asking? What do you... And so once I would, define the question down into small enough terms, then it would be, give me a couple days, I'll get back with you.
And we've had to learn how to do that. Was that hard for you at first?
It still is.
Yeah.
It's that thing of it's like, and he says it's so much work. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm feeling it's so much work. Why is it so much work? Just say how you feel. But he has to tune into it, I guess. I don't know. It's like...
Yeah, you have to do do the
That's
effort
crazy.
of getting in there and discovering. I would not say I'm void of emotion. I'm aware that I have it. So I think some people, men in particular, would say, well, I don't have emotions. Or, I mean, that'd be on the extreme end. I've always been aware I have them. Like I said to her the other day, I don't know if you caught this or not, but I'm realizing more and more because I've done enough, digging and done enough work around this. I realize I have anger that's just under the surface a lot that I didn't even realize was there myself for many years.
But
and now I recognize it, but rarely does it show up
Yeah.
in how I
Never voices it.
I don't voice it
which is probably why it's there. Number
well, I mean,
two,
that could be.
But also, I think I just think anger's an interesting thing because I also carry anger. Like it's there, and you can ask Seth at any point. I'm like, let's go. Like I'm ready. let's duke it out verbally, right?
She wants
like
a row.
I'm ready. But I do think there are healthy ways to deal with that.
Well, no, for sure.
And so just
Yeah.
like I know people say just let it out. And I do think you should let it out, but I think you should let it out
Mm-hmm.
in a healthy way, not ripping somebody else apart or whatever, you
Yeah.
know. But
So these things become interesting because you can tell this is, at least I hope it's coming across, that this is one of those things that, that we have had to navigate and continue to and probably always will to some degree. Hopefully get better and better at it, but probably always have to navigate it to some degree. So, some of these things we started out with that are lighter and more fun as far as like which way the toilet paper rolls and those kind of things you can
boxes
figure
of trash.
boxes of trash. You can figure out solutions to those things somewhat reasonably. Maybe
Yeah.
one of you just gives on that because it's like, hey, I prefer it this way, but it's not a big deal.
I feel like those kinds of
Or-
things you figure out.
You do.
Okay.
You figure out.
I'll take the trash out, you clean the toilet. Like you figure out those ways to make a compromise.
You do.
Of like, okay, would you agree to in the kitchen? Most of the time, Seth grates the cheese because I hate to grate cheese.
Yeah.
So it's like practical things like that to me. I'm like, I can figure out how to deal with that
Right.
because you make a list, you make compromises,
You do.
like problem solve, right?
Yeah.
It totally makes sense. But when it's those internal
Yeah,
things,
they're harder.
You're just like, I don't know.
Well, hopefully that's not what you do, but
I kind
it's
of
easy.
do.
It's easy to.
Internally, though, do that.
Sure, because it's weighty.
I can't fix
No. Right.
you. You can't fix me.
Right. Yeah.
So there is an element of like, okay,
Yeah.
this is the way it's going to be.
Yeah. And therefore not a I give up as much as listen, this is going to be one of those areas that's just never going to be the ideal I want probably, but hopefully you keep working on it. Hopefully you keep navigating. But you kind of, I suppose, would it be fair? You kind of lose hope that like maybe necessarily it'll like ever be ideally what I want, and so you just kind of own that, and it's okay.
I was going to say no. I kind of do give up on the things that are like things like that.
Yeah.
That are inside of you that I can't control.
Yeah. Sure.
I kind of do go. I give up in the sense
In a healthy
of,
way.
I can't fix him.
Yeah.
That's not even
It's a
my
good
job.
It's a good point.
And so for me to stew about it,
Yeah.
meditate about it, which then becomes worshiping it,
Right.
making it bigger,
Right.
like keeping my eyes focused on that. If
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to look at, I am going to be miserable.
Right.
And that thing is going to
Well, you're
grow
both going to be miserable.
and become a huge problem.
Right.
Right. Whereas if I
Yeah.
just kind of go, like, it is what it is. This is,
Yeah.
I'm married into this, so it is what it is. And I can go get a divorce, stupid. I can, just get pissed about it, meditate it, make it a big, huge problem in our marriage, make our marriage worse.
Right.
I can, like you look at those options and there's just, sometimes I think the best one is I give up
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not my monkey, not my circus, not my problem. I can't fix that.
Right.
And if we're going to
It's
have
good.
a healthy, good marriage, then that means I kind of, and it would work in friendship too,
Yeah.
kind of have to go, I don't love it,
Yeah.
but I can't do a thing about that.
Mhm.
That's up to you to see and choose to want to do something about.
Yeah. That's really good. I appreciate you unpacking that, because it's definitely that seems healthy.
Yeah, it's still frustrating, but
Sure.
life isn't
Right.
life's a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Enjoy the fact that you
Right.
get chocolate, and like
Yeah.
there's just some things you don't. It's not all hunky dory. It's not
Right.
all
Right.
rainbows and unicorns. So
Yeah.
there's an element of going.
Mm.
These are just some things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I hope this has been helpful.
I hope that's
mean,
not depressing. I hope
No,
that's
no.
actually-
I mean, I think there's some really good. Yeah. I think there's some really good stuff there. So I'm hoping, and you might want to, go back and watch this again. I mean, because a lot of the stuff is light and fluffy, but then there's this stuff that's not. But there's that element of just learning to live life together. And that's, I think, what we're meaning by domestic life. Just that navigation of a life together that you can genuinely enjoy and love, even though it's not perfect.
Right.
Right? Yeah. I hope it's been helpful. So, is that it?
We'll see you next time.
All right. Goodbye. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching our videos, and to help us out so that other people can also see this good, what we think is good content, we think you must think that too, please ring that bell, like this, do all of those things to make this available that other people might see it. Thank you so much for watching, and please share what we're producing here. Thank you.